The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
What's going on?
Friday Eve.
That's what I heard. Look at this.
We'll take every bit of that.
Yeah.
And even earlier, before the sun came out, it was lighter.
It was.
It was cooler.
It was.
Not as quite as cool yesterday.
Right, son.
But still, we'll take every bit of that.
Yeah. So actually, we will. And this is going to be the pattern for the next number of days. Actually, the 10-day forecast, as you blow it up over the next number of days, you have the starts that are kind of similar to this, the finishes that are kind of similar to this. So 10 days out, you actually look pretty good. There's a chance of rain as you kind of move around and into, obviously you can see into Monday. But I tell you, you get to enjoy the next number of days, the dry, if you will, because we've certainly earned that. We've been a whole bunch of rain and dealing with all that for, I mean, seemingly like the whole year. But
look,
anyway.
we need reminders that fall is here in our part of the world, because y'all know it's going to get hot and humid again before it actually cools down again.
Yeah.
So we'll take today through Sunday for as long as we can. So don't let this fool you, but you're seeing beautiful weather, but you're seeing awful traffic backups.
Yeah.
Johnny's had his eye on this since about 6:57 this morning. That's when we first learned about a vehicle fire there in on the Basin Bridge. If you are headed, this is for folks, we're talking right now as if you were going from Baton Rouge to Lafayette. Driving by is where you're seeing all this traffic, but for folks who are coming east from Lafayette to Baton Rouge, one lane is down, and you know why?
Man, that's a mess. I mean, this is, we saw this as it began to happen back end of the morning show, right? It was like one of the last traffic hits we had, camper fire. And man, that was producing a whole bunch of smoke, clearly, a lot of flames going on. And this is taken from, you can see how close they got to this. I mean, this is, that's a human.
Yeah.
So this was it locked it up for a while.
Yeah.
And so you saw that shot, that one shot. We actually have another camera angle we can show you. Ain't no traffic coming from the other side of this wreck. They are still working to clear this thing. It's going to be a minute. And there you can kind of see it right at the very top of your screen, top left. They still got the emergency vehicles up there. Now, I have, Liz, over the last 15, 20 minutes, I've seen this exact shot, and I've seen cars passing by, which would tell you they're letting a few go here and there, but when they've got to really work on the wreck and move things around, they're obviously shutting things down again. So that's going to be a minute. That's going to be a minute. But for obvious reason, my gosh, what a fire out there on the basin. Good
heads up for folks who are heading in that direction, just to be careful.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
And we're hearing the best news, no injuries involved with that. So that really is best case scenario, and something as scary as this when we saw that this morning.
That was the first thing we all thought about.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So that happened this morning. This happened this morning.
Pfizer asking the FDA to see if they can offer shots for COVID for kids ages 5 to 11.
Right.
If regulators agreed to this, again, they just submitted that, asked them for this approval, but if regulators approve it, this could roll out in weeks.
It really could.
That's a big deal.
And Pfizer, obviously, the first with the original vaccine, right? They were the first to get boosters approved for certain age groups. They're now the first to get this approved for this particular. Is that mine?
Yes. Maybe it's me.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Actually, I've got the thing tucked into the back pocket, so I've got to wiggle the back side as we talk about this. Exactly.
Careful.
So this is major. This is 5 to 11. These are the school-age kids, the younger kids that we've been talking about, where we started to see a rise in their cases.
Yeah.
So again, this is the first step. They asked the FDA for that emergency approval. After that goes to the CDC, and then we shall see.
That's it. So we'll keep you updated as we see this rollout process and see what happens next. Right. Something else we're keeping an eye on is DSNAP. Again, this has been the leading conversation after Hurricane Ida. Lots of folks had to throw away everything in their fridge, their freezer. Lots of folks still in need of a warm meal and food to put on the table, especially if you have kids. So DSNAP, if you need those disaster food stamp benefits and you live in the parishes like St. John the Baptist, St. James, Lafourche, Terrebonne, and your last name starts with T through Z, today is your day to call in. Only if your last name start with those letters. Be careful now, because if you missed the days earlier this week, well, tomorrow and Saturday are the days for you to make up and call in. And next week are the all-important makeup days for everyone, regardless of which parish you live in.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the parishes involved in this disaster declaration. They'll break up the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday by the last names, but all the parishes included, and we'll stay with you. We'll remind you of that again as that next week approaches. Something that the pandemic pushed to the forefront again, something that the storm pushed to the forefront again, and something that this part of the world deals with a lot, food insecurities, and Kelly was talking about it big time this morning.
When you talk about food insecurity, just to begin with,
Yeah.
the American Heart Association says when you are at a disadvantage for food, you're probably going to opt for the unhealthier options because they tend to be cheaper, right?
Right.
Not necessarily the case in some communities, but when you talk about food deserts, there's not really access to fresh food.
Right.
Even though it may be cheaper than the junk food. So when it comes to access, it's about making sure everyone has that equal opportunity to get to it. So American Heart Association playing a big role in making sure the foods and meals that kids and families are eating are heart healthy.
I was surprised to hear this morning the statistic, the number, percentage of adults, so 18 and up, that do not get the recommended, daily allotment of fresh fruits and vegetables. It's nearly 80%.
Yeah.
It was like in the 70s, and I'm like, time out. And I'm like, well, do I fall into that category? Am I not doing enough? And I'm not
makes you
food
wonder.
insecure, right?
Yeah.
And so mine would just be a
Right.
choice, and a stupid one. But for those who are literally stuck in a spot where they are having to deal with food insecurity, this is real. So what the conversation was and what Callie has done for you, if you go into this story, you kind of read through it, you kind of understand what's going on, you're looking for resources to maybe help you deal with this, right here. You get to learn a little bit more about this, find some of the resources that are out there. We've highlighted it for you, Callie has, because food deserts in our area, they're legitimate, they're real. Food insecurity in our area, very real.
And that's only going to become a bigger issue as we continue to see the rollout and the effects of Hurricane Ida, where a lot of families going hungry. So Kelly putting together some great resources for you to figure out how to best feed your family at home and make sure you're making those healthy decisions.
October, you know this, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I don't know that you know this as well. It is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we talk about these stories far too much. We talk about people being just stuck in a situation they don't think they can get out of because maybe they don't know the help that's out there.
In Baton Rouge, there are a number of resources to help domestic violence victims across the whole capital region.
Yeah.
We've got the Butterfly Society, and we've also got the Iris Domestic Violence Center, both, and STAR. We've got a number of resources here that can help, but the problem is it's not so easy for victims to just say, oh, I'm going to make a call.
Right.
If you are living with a partner that is abusing you, it's not so easy to be like, well, let me just make a call whenever I want. There's so many other steps and factors that you've got to think about for your own safety, for your children's safety. So it's not as just easy as accessing these resources whenever you want. There has to be a plan involved, and sometimes getting that plan together is overwhelming, so you don't do it.
That's where these places come into play. That's where these resources come into play. And if you scroll through the story, you're going to be able to find, for instance, there you go, the Butterfly Society. That's just one of them, the resources available. But please, we've all been privileged enough to do stories with these groups and talk with these women. And we heard from one this morning. I won't forget what she said at the very back end of it. Love should not hurt. And you hear that, and truer words never spoken. But it is tough a lot of times to leave a situation like that, which is why these organizations are in place. So please, if you think you are in a spot like that, or if you know somebody who is, oh my gosh,
really important.
Pay attention to your friends, pay attention to your family, because those signs can be there. They may be sending you signs like kind of on the down low just to make sure that nobody pay attention to all that. Use these resources.
Even if you are in that situation, like Matt said, you may not be the person in that situation, but you know of someone, you can even contact them to find out the best way to approach someone, because sometimes it's not smart to just be like, well, you need to get out of there. Let me come live with me. That may not be the best situation for that person. So if you're trying to figure out how to help your friend, how to help a loved one in an awful situation, call them. That's what these resources are for.
You hit on a very good point there, Liz, too, because sometimes if it's a family member who goes in and pulls somebody out, well, that person who's maybe causing the problem knows where everybody lives. A lot of this can be through the right resources, undisclosed locations for a little while. Safety is obviously a big part of this. This is one of those things we talk about. You focus on breast cancer awareness, 365. We just highlighted in October. Same thing here. It's a year-round focus, just highlighting it right now.
Resources on the 9 News app.
Waiting for you.
Yep.
Okay, we're switching gears here completely. We were talking about this earlier. Are you a fan of paying to have somebody scare the living?
I am not.
Okay.
I get scared To begin with, I scare very easily,
Yeah.
and me and my sisters joke it's kind of awful, but we were spanked growing up, so we're very flinchy.
I was
so
too.
you never know in the grocery store if you're doing something wrong, if you're talking a lot, you get spanked out of nowhere. So we're very flinchy. So
Here comes the hand.
I'm not going to pay someone to scare
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I will watch the video and be very impressed by their talent, because
Yeah.
this is a group of very impressive folks.
This is an organization, 13th Gate,
Yes.
who almost from the very first year they started doing this, were recognized as among the best in the country. Like almost from jump.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they just got better and better and better. They are consistently ranked easily top 10, top 5 routinely. And right now, one of the organizations who ranks all of these, top 3.
That's huge.
What?
You think about all the scare capitals in the U.S. There's
Right.
a lot of different cities in
Yeah.
the U.S. A lot of bigger cities doing just this.
Absolutely.
Baton Rouge, 13th Gate,
Yeah.
bringing in high honors for this. And if you've never been there, you are missing out. And I say that because I watched the video.
I was gonna
and
say,
this
wait
is
a
all
minute,
I have not been there because I'm like, I know
Yeah.
I'd be terrified. I would not even make it past the first 10 steps.
Just take a listen to
I
what's
really
going on
don't.
in there.
Just watching the story
My
and
kids wanna
showcasing
go.
Louisiana.
I
I think they're very brave.
I don't even-
I think they're very brave individuals, man.
It's hilarious, man. They just, well, not that's hilarious, but I think they just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I raised some
I think
kids who
it's
just want to be
cool.
like, all right, let's go get scared.
Right.
But yeah, it's like 13th Gate. It's 13 like different areas in there, and all these actors, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, actors really dig into this, and multiple. Some of these people playing multiple characters in there. It is a lot of fun.
If you enjoy scary, I'm
you
telling
enjoy
you,
that.
it's scary.
It is.
Just watching the video.
Right, it
This
is.
is not just your backyard,
It is.
like boo. No.
You'll come out of there with the heart racing.
Yes.
But the reason we talk about this right now is it's obviously coming up. You can go out and be a part of it, go out and experience it.
Yes.
But it's also the latest story in our Showcasing Louisiana.
Yeah, and you actually can find the link to get tickets and for more information about when they're open, when you can see this attraction, because as we get closer to Halloween, you can bet it's going to get busier and busier.
It will.
So if you want to maybe stay away from people, you're
Yeah.
still doing those COVID mitigation measures, you may want to get tickets on the earlier side.
And of course, you can wear a mask when you're in there. Everybody else is going to be wearing a mask. The one's trying to frighten you
Also,
anyway.
you might as well, if you do scare easily, wear a pair of Depends while you're in there too. I'm just saying. Look, this is
Playing
high
it
talent.
safe. These guys are real.
It is preparing yourself.
You know
You
what?
want to be prepared.
There you go. Yeah,
That's
wear
it.
some sweatpants.
Bring
that
a
you
mask
don't
and a
mind
pair of
ruining.
Depends. Yeah.
Jeez. You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's have a little bit of fun on this Therapy
Yeah.
Thursday. Let's talk a little bit more. But let's talk about that and things that you enjoy doing as the
Mardi
holidays
Gras
show
coming
up.
up. Yeah,
exactly.
let's talk about the fun
Let's
stuff.
do that on Therapy. You want to do that?
I like that.
Okay, so let's do that.
Hop on over to YouTube.com/WAFB9, and we're going to have this conversation. So for the folks joining us on WAFB Plus, hop on over. We're going to chat about the fun stuff.
Hop over, turn
Yeah.
over, roll over.
All of that. All of that and
Sorry,
more.
that was weird.
We'll see you in a second.
Yeah, we'll see you in a second. Y'all be good.
And we're back.
We didn't
Talking
go-
about the fun stuff.
We didn't go too far.
We really didn't go
I just
too
wouldn't
far.
put on the Depends.
Well, that's very fitting because we're about to talk about some
Well,
scary, spooky
not
stuff.
really. Actually, they're not very fitting at all. It's just a little. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
But no, that was the solid advice.
I'm telling
or
you.
the wet advice from Liz Coe if you're going to be checking out 13th Gate.
Look.
One of the great attractions.
Look.
Highly attended. I mean,
Yes.
lines around the building
Yes.
all the time. There's a lot of folks out there who pay good money to have the holy heck scared out of them.
Every year too,
Yeah.
you've got repeat people
yeah.
who will buy tickets every year
My
because they
kids.
do change up the
Yeah,
show. It's
they
not
do.
the same. I hate to say routine,
Routine
but
scare.
performance maybe.
Right, that's true. There
Yeah,
you go.
because you've got people who actually have studied drama, who
Yep.
have studied acting, who are a part of this. The makeup, the costumes, everything. It looks real.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about
So
this.
when the headless guy runs after you waving his own arm around, I mean, he's he's practiced for that.
Yeah.
He's trained for that. He's literally gone home and I don't know what he's done, actually. Probably scared the heck out of his own family.
Well, look,
but,
just,
look,
yeah.
I mean, look, just look at the video. This is 13th Gate. This is their website. Are you freaking out a little bit?
Ew, a little bit.
Is it the other side, the other bank? There you go. Yeah, this is 13th Gate. No?
I admire you if you enjoy scary stuff. To me,
It's an elevator on fire.
this kind of haunts me.
Okay, so now what does this do to you from Hey, now.
To me,
Elevator on fire.
this kind of So you're signing up for all of that when you go to
Okay.
13th Gate.
I mean, doing
Have at
the
it.
morning show is scary enough. I mean, I don't need to. I don't know.
But you got kids who are into this.
Right. And the last time I was there was like doing a story like way back, like when they were first coming out,
cool,
like way
very
back.
cool,
We've all
yeah.
done. I mean, so many folks have walked through there with the
Yeah.
camera. Now they don't want to show everything, and so they're kind of like, okay, you can shoot this and this and this.
You gotta pay for the real thing.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But no, this is the thing. People love to be scared. I mean, you get that
Thrill
dopamine kind of
seekers.
popping, the endorphins just blow up. It is that natural high for a lot of folks. I would pass out. I'd probably pass out.
Well, good luck to you because you got 3 kids who want to go see it.
Yeah, no, I need to figure
Yeah.
that. But they have friends they can go with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, just tell me how you did.
Right. I'll be there waiting at
See
the
you
end
on the
of
other side?
Yeah. Once you come running out the door.
I'll wait for Mardi Gras. I'll wait for that party.
Oh, speaking
I'll wait for that party.
of,
Yeah, today.
we're about to find out what's
Yeah.
going to happen 2022 carnival season. The mayor, LaToya Cantrell, her Mardi Gras Advisory Council meets tonight at 5. So the plan here, how do we have Mardi Gras safely with the COVID mitigation measures, with COVID data still in mind, because COVID is still a thing,
Right.
even with vaccines. So you have to wonder what it's going to look like with people who want to have parades, people who want to have parties and balls, all of the things that you think about Mardi Gras. It's an entire season in our part of the world.
I think we may get a good test run coming up in New Orleans anyway. Crew of Boo, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're rolling. They've got permission. It's going to be the first full-on parade since the pandemic,
Yeah.
right? And so the mayor signed off on this. Everybody signed off on this. Health leaders signed off on it. Crew of Boo, the Halloween parade in NOLA. So I think we get an idea of how we, as parade goers, treat the parade. Are we doing the right things? And so, yeah, we'll see. But right now, the numbers, look, they're nowhere near where they need them to be.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. But they are going in the right direction. If we keep doing that, maybe Mardi Gras.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We really hope so. You good? You okay?
Well, I was thinking about Mardi Gras. I was getting all verklempt.
Yeah. Very good use of the word,
Well,
too.
yeah.
We need you to stay alive for Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I'm looking
So,
forward to it.
lots of exciting things to come
Yeah.
again because we've made such a big progress since this time last
Yeah.
year. To think vaccines were a thing last year, to think how high the COVID cases were. We were entering, the second surge at this point last year, right before the holidays.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even remember. Everything's such a blur.
I know.
It's all just.
It felt like 10 years
Yeah,
in
pretty
2
much
years.
is. So
we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see.
We will. All right, so there you go. We just kind of wanted to talk with you a little bit about that, see if you wanted to
The
chat with
fun
us.
stuff.
Chat with us about the fun stuff. But if you want to get onto your Thursday, we can let you do that too.
We can. We hope you have a good one.
Yep.
We'll see you on 9 News Now tomorrow. Ah!
No, never mind.